Okay, so in this video we are going to explore the slope of the line. And you can think of the slope sort of like the steepness of the line. So if you look at this picture right here of these happy people on a roller coaster, you might want to know the slope of the roller coaster at a certain point. So how steep is that roller coaster right there? And that's not a very straight line. Well, to figure out the steepness of the line, or the slope of the line, we want to know the vertical change over the horizontal change. So the slope is the vertical change divided by the horizontal change. I need to change the thickness of this pen. Okay, so, excuse me. The slope is a ratio of the vertical change over the horizontal change. So the slope is a ratio. And here I've got a little picture of this ramp by the beach. Doesn't that look nice? And the slope of this ramp is the ratio of the vertical change over the horizontal change. So how are we going to figure that out? Let's say that the vertical change for this ramp is 5 feet, and the horizontal change is 15 feet. So the slope of this ramp would be 5 over 15, or it could be reduced to 1 over 3. So the slope of this line is 1/3. If we look at the slope on our xy axis, here's x, here's y, that's actually another x. By God. Let's erase that. Like I said, this is y. So let's say that this is my line. Well, if I pick this point here, hold on, if I pick this point here and this point here, the slope of that line would be this distance divided by this distance. So let's just say that this point, this first point that I have chosen, I'm having challenges right now. Okay, let's say that, how come it's not erasing? Alright, the heck with it. We won't erase. Let's say this point up here is 7, 5, meaning my x value is 7, my y value is 5. And right here, this point is 3, 1. So going from here, this point up here, down to here, my x value here is also 3. So going from 7 to 3, my vertical change is 4. And going from here to here, I said that backwards. Okay, from here to here, you know what? Skip it. That was all wrong. Wrong. Let me erase this. Let me erase this now. Okay. Just go back. Let's just forget about what I said and let's rearrange the numbers. So my x value at this point is 7. My y value is 5. Right here, my x value is 3. And my y value is 1. So my vertical change right here, y equals 5. Down here, y equals 1. So it's gone from 5 to 1, so my vertical change actually is 4. In my horizontal change, right here I have x equals 7, and down here I have x equals 3, so 7 minus 3 is 4. So the slope of this line is 4 over 4, which is also equal to 1. So we have some different kinds of slope. We have positive slope, and a positive slope would be seen when you have a line that goes from the left and increases up towards the right. So that's a positive slope. A negative slope would go in the other direction. It would be higher up over on the left, and it would go down towards the right. A zero slope is just a horizontal line. And an undefined slope is a vertical line. Okay, so let's explore these 4 different kinds of slope. Okay, a positive slope. Right here I have a point, and right here I have a point. So I'll see if I can say this correctly the first time. Let's say my x value here is 10, and my y value is 7. Over here, my x value is 3, and my y value is 2. So let's find our slope. Okay, well, we want to find the change in our y values. So we do 7 minus 2 over the change in our x values, or 10 minus 3. 7 minus 2 is 5. 10 minus 3 is 7. So our slope is 5 over 7. Notice they're both positive, so it's a positive slope. Alright, let's take a look at this one. This one, we will say that my x value is negative 2 and my y value is 4. Over here we'll say our x value is 5 and our y value is negative 2. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to find the difference in my y's and divide that by the difference in my x's. So I'm going to do negative 2 minus 4 over 5 minus, and that's a negative 2, so we can't forget that negative 2. So negative 2, I take away 4 more, gives me negative 6. 5 minusing a negative, that's a positive, so 5 plus 7 is 12. I can reduce this to negative 1 over 2. Notice there's one negative, so I have a negative slope. Okay, zero slope. We'll take 2 points. We'll say it's this point and this point. Well, my x value here, we'll say is 2, and my y is also 2. Over here, I'll say my x value is negative 3, and my y value is still 2. So to figure out the slope, I do 2, my change in my y value is 2 minus 2 over 2 minus negative 3. 2 minus negative 3. Well, 2 minus 2 is 0. 2 minus a negative 3 is like 2 plus 3, so that's 5. And remember, when I divide 0 by anything, I get 0. And the last one, our undefined slope. Okay, let's take 2 points. I will say that x is 4 and y is negative 1 here. X is 4 and y is 3, we'll say. Same deal, let's find the difference in our y. So I'm going to do negative 1 minus 3 over 4 minus 4. Negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. It is not possible to divide by 0, so this is undefined. So, there are 4 different types of slope. Alright, let's take a look and calculate some slopes. So, let's say that the first one, I say that my rise, let me write something down here. So slope, another way you can think of slope is rise over run. So let's say my rise equals 10, my run equals 6, so my slope equals 10 over 6, or 5 over 3. Now that's an easy one. You're given your rise and your run. Well, what if I say, okay, here's my line, or here is a graph, and 2 points on my graph are right here and right here. So I'll say my x value out here is 12 and my y value is 4. In here my x value is 1 and my y value is 3. So to figure out your slope, let's find the rise. And the rise equals 4 minus 3, or 1. My run is 12 minus 1, or 11. So my slope is my rise over my run, or 1 over 11. And even more examples. Let's see here. What if instead of drawing the graph, I said, all right, find the slope between the points, the line that goes through the point 4, 2, and it goes through 7, 6. Well, this is an x value. That's my first x value. This is my first y value. My second x value and my second y value. So, I can say my rise equals my second y value minus my first, which is 6 minus 2, or 4. And my run is my second y value minus my first y value, or 7 minus 4, which is 3. So my slope equals 4 over 3. I'm going to do one more. What if I gave you the line -4, 2, and -4, 7? Well, let's see, my rise is 7 minus 2, or 5, and my run is -4 minus -4. Remember, that's just like adding, so I have -4 plus 4, and that's 0. My slope is rise over run, so that's 0, 0. So rise over run, so I have my rise is 5, my run is 0. I can't divide by 0, so this is undefined. One more example. Let me erase this one. What if I gave you something like my x is 7 and my y is 5, my x is 10, and my y is 2. Okay. My rise is, I'm going to label these, I have x1, y1, x2, y2. My rise is going to be y2 minus y1, or 2 minus 5. That gives me a -3. And my run, we've got to go in the same direction for both. My run is going to be 10 minus 7, which is positive 3. So my rise over my run gives a negative 3 over a positive 3, which is a negative 1. So just looking at this, I know that my line has a negative slope, so it'll go downhill. Couple examples I would like you to try. Find the slope. Hold on. Find the slope where your rise is 2 and your run is 6. Find the slope that goes through point 1, 0. I'm sorry, 0, 1, and 9, 3. And last, I would like you to try to find the slope of the line that goes through the point 6, negative 1, and 10, negative 1. All right, that's it. I will see you tomorrow.